Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining today. We are going to look at the fundamental and the technical perspective for this week, so where the market may move. We are going to look at the most important events that we have, considering that the previous week was very boring. And as I anticipated also during the previous week, the chances were high that probably the market was not going to move, or probably with small moves. So let's begin with the economy calendar, because it's very important to have a clear outlook about the new events that we are going to have during this week. And later we are going to look at the technical perspective. So on Monday opening, we have to be careful. The economy calendar is almost empty for the first part of the day, as you can see. But also during the rest of the day, this is empty. So the focus will be for the coming days. On Tuesday, we have very strong important data. Everything will begin with data from UK. We have employment change. The focus at this moment will be on the employment change for reacting, and taking also in consideration that from June up to the end of August, these are months with very low numbers, employment numbers most of the time, considering the past, also on the big economies, on the major economies that we have seen. So the chances are that we may see an improvement in the employment change. This should increase the value of the British pound. However, we have many data during the week. That is why we have to be focused. We have also the unemployment rate, which is going to be important. However, it can be the same like the previous month. This indicator is not moving too much lately. With the average earnings, it is expected a slight decrease this time from 8.1 to 7.4. However, everything depends from the employment change again. 15 minutes before the opening of the London market, we have also the Swiss National Bank's Chairman Jordan's speech. We have to be very careful. The Swiss National Bank made this clear that we are going to intervene in the market if that is necessary in order to increase the Swiss franc value. And that is why all the Swiss franc pairs are not moving at all. They are under their manipulation. It's a manipulation that they made it clear several times. It is not hide manipulation. So let's see what he is going to speak. On Tuesday again, we have very strong important data from Eurozone. We have gross domestic product, quarterly and yearly. The focus that I would like to pay close attention to will be on the yearly data. It was minus 0.1, and we can see that this is also 0.1 as expectation. Also, the quarterly expectation is minus 0.1, minus 0.1. The reason is because the GDP in the Eurozone since at the end of June is not moving at all. And that is why it keeps doing ups and downs with minus 0.1 point up and down in this indicator. So probably it may come in line according to the expectations that we are looking at during this moment. So let's see what is going to happen also here. Probably it may not move the market at all. And the next one, which is very important during the day, is the consumer price index on Tuesday from the US. This is going to be one of the leading indicator for the market, so it will be also a market catalyst. We may see moves, considering that the market is going to anticipate this data. Previously, we had the consumer price index. It was 3.7%. The peak related with the consumer price index was reached on July 2022 with 9.1%, and the lowest low related with this indicator was reached at the end of July with 3%. After this moment, we have seen that the consumer price index is increased slightly from 3%. On September it was reported 3.7, and on October it was 3.7. So this is a reason why the market probably may expect the same data here. So probably we may see not changes on this indicator or a slight increase again. It can be possible, considering that this is increasing. And on the other hand, this is a strong reason why the market is already anticipating for a possible interest rate hike on December's meeting. However, one step at a time. Another one which is very important is consumer price index ex food and energy. It was 4.1% and it is expected to be 4.1% again. Also, this is very important. The peak for this indicator was reached on October 2022 with 6.6%, and since that moment it has improved a lot. However, during the previous month, on August it was 4.7%, on September it was 4.3%, so this is coming down month after month, and on October it was reported 4.1%. It is likely that we may see a possible pause in this indicator, or probably it can slow down a bit more. The market is speculating related with the fact that the consumers are spending more related with the high inflation. However, as you can see, consumer price food and energy is decreasing month after month. So this is very good for this indicator. I wouldn't be surprised to see also a slowdown also this month for the US data. And during the end of Tuesday, we don't have anything important. Thank you so much for everyone that is joining right now. I really appreciate it. You can write me on the comment section if you have any question. On Wednesday, we have Wednesday, November 15, we have GDP data from Japan. This indicator is showed improvement during the previous time for the quarterly data. However, this time it is expected a small slowdown here. We have to see the Japanese economy is performing in a strange way, and on the other hand, the Bank of Japan is not doing anything at all. So they are in a pause for the moment, and we have to be very careful with the Japanese pairs. During early hours of European morning, we have industrial production and retail sales from China. This is going to impact the Australian dollar. During the previous month, it was reported 5.5%, and this month it is expected to be 7%. So if this is going to happen, it will help Australian dollar a lot. Retail sales are a leading indicator related with the GDP product, and if this is going to come higher than expected or before or above the previous month data, above 5.5, this is going to help Australian dollar a lot. So we may see Australian dollar to recover. Related with the previous month, this indicator showed a slight improvement for China. On August, it was reported 2.5, on September 4.6, and on October, it was reported for 5.5. So this is showing a very good improvement. We may see Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar as well to recover from this indicator. During the day, On Wednesday again, that is why I said that this is going to be a very important week. We have CPI data from the UK again. We have the monthly, yearly data and the core consumption price index. I would like to focus on these two, yearly and the core consumption price index. During the previous month, it was not in very good conditions, but the UK is doing a lot better related with the consumer prices during the previous month, as I have seen. The peak was reached on related with consumer price index. The peak was reached on November 2022 with 11.1%, and since that moment this indicator has improved a lot. On August it was 6.8, September 6.7, and on October 6.7. So probably we may see also a small pause on the consumer price index for the yearly data, and this decrease, I'm not so sure, but we may see a number a bit slower than 6.7, but I don't see this at 4.8, so it looks a bit very small at this moment. For core consumer price index from 6.1 that was the previous month, this time this is expected to be 5.8%. During the previous month, we have seen that this indicator on June it was 7.1. It keeps decreasing month after month. On August it was reported 6.9, 6.2 in September, 6.1 in October. So it is likely that we may see this number here as expectation, 5.8 or probably 6, but we may see an improvement again, so it may improve as indicator. Also, the Bank of England Bailey said that we are expecting inflation to slow down again, so it can be possible because they have the numbers in advance. So this is good for the UK economy. We have also Bank of England monetary policy report hearings. We have to see what the Bank of England will share with us this week on Wednesday. And the retail sales from the US. This is going to be important again, producer price index, ex food and energy, and the retail sales. The US is doing very well during the previous month. We have to focus on this data because this is also the leading indicator about the GDP numbers, as I explained again. During the previous month, this indicator was at 0.6%, and it keeps doing ups and downs. On August it was 0.8, it was 0.2 on September, 0.6 on October, so it is moving in a narrow area. We have to be careful. It is not so clear, but we may see improvement considering that also the US economy is holding very strong, and in my opinion the indicators are really good. It keeps growing. On Thursday we have employment data from Australia. This time it was a real surprise that the Bank of Australia increased the interest rates. For the employment numbers, they proved to have a strong employment data during the previous month. Probably we may see an improvement here. However, most of the time the employment numbers are a real surprise. We have to be careful. But this is going to move the market. This is at during the early hours of European morning, so this is during the night hours. for Europe. For the rest of the day, on Thursday, we don't have any important data, only slight soft data, let's say initial jobless claims. It will move the market, but not too much, small moves only. And the rest of the day will be empty for Thursday. We have to be careful. It will move related more with the technical perspective rather than from a fundamental perspective. On Friday, retail sales again from the UK. Probably we may see an improvement considering that all the other indicators are showing some improvement for UK. This is close to the opening of the London market, 1 hour before the opening. For the rest of the day, we may see that we have some data from Eurozone related with the consumer prices. However, it will be soft data because the most important data will be shared during Tuesday related with Eurozone. However, these are important data. And for the rest of the day, we may see that we have an empty economic calendar. So these are very soft data that are not taken in consideration for trading or where we have to be careful during the week. Really appreciate it. So let's begin with the technical perspective right now. After we checked what may happen on the economic calendar, the first one that we are going to look at is the dollar index. Explained also during the previous slide. After we saw the bearish movement happening during FOMC and the non-farm payroll data, this was confirming a bearish movement for a possible bearish continuation movement. However, also the current move that we may see at this point had higher chances. We saw the same situation before, a breakout and price increase, and the chances were high for this movement again. This is also related to the fact that the USD is a very strong currency. It was also a manipulative movement from during FOMC and from payroll data, so we can consider this also a release in the trading volume. It can happen, it's normal. But what we may see in the current conditions is that we have to be careful because the price is creating something bigger in time, and we are again in another corrective pattern. We may see both moves. It is very difficult to anticipate next movement related with the dollar index. It can push the price down from the current position, or probably it may increase up to the top and later it can move down. I'm not expecting the US dollar to break through this pattern. In my opinion, it is not making sense with the current conditions. If we are to look at on a daily perspective, it looks like that we may have this bullish movement. However, for this move is required a very strong uh, news, let's say, is required a very strong reason. That is why I'm not focused so far on this bullish movement. So we are going to delete this. But we cannot exclude the possibility for this type of pattern. We may see another bigger pattern that may develop in this way. It can take this shape. We cannot take this. We have to be careful. On a lower time frame perspective, we may see that USD is the bullish for the moment. It keeps growing, but it is hesitating. Probably we may see the US dollar getting stronger if the price will manage to break through 106 again. Then we may see it continue to increase for the top of the path. Until that moment, also the bearish scenario is still valid. We may see type of bearish correction and the price may continue lower with first target 105.4, where we can see also a strong support area, and later it will face a very strong support close to the bottom. This is for the part of the bearish scenario that I see on the dollar index. However, we have to see also during the week. And for the bullish scenario, we have to be very careful because it can develop in different way. It can rise with small volume, it can increase and it can move down with deep waves before it moves to top, or it can also continue to grow with aggressive moves during the news events that we have this week. That is why we have to pay close attention to the news that I already explained. However, one step at a time before anticipating everything. It is in the middle of something big at the moment. For Euro USD that we have seen also on the past, we can see that on a day the price reacted when it was at 1.0460. It proves that we have the buyers that are well positioned, very strong K support area close to this point. The moves that Euro USD is already are very ugly at this moment. As you can see, these are only moves with ups and deep move downs. We may see the same move again. We have to be very careful. Overall, I'm looking at Euro USD for a possible change in trend. However, we have seen Euro USD spending a lot of time in big corrections before the next trend begins. That is why we have to be very, very careful. At this moment, we may see that the price is holding very strong, above 1.0650. It looks very interesting as a movement, as a support zone. If this is going to hold, probably Euro USD is going to grow further. The first area that I'm looking at for the price to stop will be the top of this zone, 1.075047, close to this area, somewhere here. The reason is because during the previous weeks, we saw the price to create this movement during FOMC and during the non-farm payroll data, and I'm not expecting the price to break through this area very easily. That is why we have to be very careful. If Euro USD is going to break through 1.0656, which is also our area, just one moment to make this with red. This will increase the chances that probably we may see a bearish wave which is going to move a bit lower, but I'm not expecting a big movement. The maximum that it can reach will be again close to the previous support where the price stopped several times, close to 1.0530. This is the area that I'm looking at as a maximum pullback for Euro USD. And it is likely that the price may bounce again even if it comes at this zone. So this is the maximum pullback that I'm expecting, and later we have to see the bullish wave. From the current price position, Euro USD can stop close to the top. I don't know if the market is going to find the right bullish volume to break through this zone and to test the second area. However, considering also the economic indicators that we have during this week, it can be possible that we may see Euro USD close to 1.08 this week, during the coming week. So far, this zone looks very strong. It's a bit risky, but we may see both moves from this area. So let's see. We have to see also the price to create a better picture. For USD yen, we have very strong data from the US and also from Japan as well with the GDP data. On a daily chart, we may see the price is testing the all-time highs close to 151.80. It looks very interesting. It seems that we have sellers, or probably the Bank of Japan is helping the price to move down from this zone. The problem is that the big moves will happen only when the Bank of Japan will intervene in the market, and until that moment, we have to be careful. The chances are high that we may see this bearish move to happen again from the top of the structure. However, it is very difficult because we don't have anything at all to confirm this movement. So far, we have only the resistance area from the top and nothing else. However, it is likely that we may see the movement happening again. During the previous analysis that I shared for USD yen, it was close to the bottom of the structure, and considering that the Bank of Japan did nothing, the price increased close to the top. That is why this is not clear. It is under strong manipulation. The market is pushing only on the bullish side. Bank of Japan is not showing up at all for further decisions or further steps. So it is a weird situation. However, we may see the price moving down from this point, but it can move down in the same way as it increased. So it's two steps. Let's see what do we have next. Okay, so during these days, I shared also US 500 analysis. It was close to a structure zone and it was not so clear because the price was near to a strong resistance zone 4,400 and it was not clear about the next price direction. What we may see is that during Friday, finally the price broke out above 4,400 and this is showing that the chances are growing for a possible bullish move. However, we have to be careful. If this is going to happen, probably we may see US dollar losing value, but we have to be careful again because indexes are testing very sensitive areas so far. This price expansion in this way is showing that the bullish volume is already increased. And we may see also this pattern that is taking shape. It's a bit complex pattern by nature, a type of megaphone pattern, which I don't like too much, but it can push the price up further from this area. So this is what indexes are showing. We see also a small slowdown before another increase. The first structure zone that indexes may face will be close to 4,460 as I have placed on the chart. The price is directed to that area. And the next one is 4,500. If we are going to increase on a daily time frame, this is very clear that 4,500 will be a very strong resistance zone, and we have to be very careful holding long positions for a long time there. So this is overall. We have to focus also on the lower time frame because this is a possible scenario that may happen. I'm going to make this with blue for indexes, but US 500 is already showing for a bullish move. If this is going to change direction, probably it should create something else. So far, this is showing only for a bullish move. So for the bearish movement, it has to prove the opposite again. This is the current picture for US 500. For gold analysis, I shared gold analysis during this week. The price was breaking through a strong support area, and I was looking at for a possible bearish move. and as you can see, this reached the bearish target. However, it is not that easy all the time because we have to focus also on the fundamental perspective. We cannot trade only the technical part. We have to be careful because we are spending money when we trade. We take the risk. Despite the fact that the price moved down with gold, we are exposed to a fundamental risk, and the market is only focused on the war between uh, Israel and Hamas. If we are going to increase the time frame on a daily chart, I was looking for a potential move up to the top of the structure again, where we have seen the price react several times when we had the previous big events that happened during the year. However, the price this time is not managing to increase above 2010. So overall, we can say that the market is focused on a strong psychological price at 2000 this time, and it didn't manage to break through this area. So this is growing the chances that probably the top was reached. I don't like too much to trade against these events related with the war that we already have. So the market is focused on the war problem, is waiting for further escalations. But as you can see, the war is already developing. They are having their problems, but it is not impacting gold anymore. So probably the market is expecting for any fundamental news, uh, like other countries to get involved, and probably the situation to escalate more. But so far, we can see that probably the bearish movement begin, and current conditions, if the situation is not going to get worse than what it is so far, probably we may see gold moving down very, very slowly. The bearish movement began since November 6th, as you can see, and considering that we were on a strong bullish move, the price moved down 2.7% very easily, and that is why we have to be very careful. I would like to be very careful with gold. Probably we may see any retest of 1950 before it moves down again. I'm not so bearish, but the current situation is showing that probably we are at the beginning of a bearish move. However, fundamental perspective is very important, and if the news is going to come out, probably it may push the price crazy that you cannot stop this. That is why we have to be careful. However, from a technical point of view, gold is showing only down for the moment. Related with Bitcoin that I explained during the previous time, the price is showing this small aggressive pattern. The price increased from 33,500 to 38,000 very easily during these moments. We had a big correction previously for about 2 weeks, and later we saw the bullish movement. In my opinion, Bitcoin is not in a clear price development. We have to be very careful. It seems that the market is bullish, is positioned for a bullish move. However, probably it is not uh, positioned for a bigger bullish movement on Bitcoin. So I think that probably we may see more moves on altcoins and on Ethereum. In the current price development, probably if this pattern is going to hold, this is a 60-minute pattern, it is likely that the price may test 37 and 450. It can be a movement which can happen during the coming hours or during the weekend. However, the price has to hold in this area. If you want to target higher, probably 37 and 800 will be also a good target for Bitcoin. However, the market has not to develop more because it can do also these moves. But for this movement and for this pattern, it has to stop here for the moment. So this is a small trading scenario for Bitcoin. However, I would like to be very careful. During the previous live stream that I shared with you Ethereum analysis, I have posted this several times during these days. This is the movement that happened on Ethereum. It was a beautiful move. I shared several times. Another movement was after the breakout when it happened, and it was a decent move. So as you can see, plus 13%, 14%. The wave that we can see here was created during the previous live stream. We were on a live stream when the bullish movement began. It was this small wave here, which was very big indeed. So far, we have to be careful because Ethereum already reached the first areas and we are in a profit-taking zone. However, the chances for a possible bullish continuation movement are still high at this moment. Probably the price already reached the top of this zone and the support area close to 2000 is going to hold very strong. And there's a movement that I see for Ethereum, which can be a short-term trading for the moment, can be between these areas, 2014, which can be a very interesting entry point, and target where it was before close to 2100 or a bit higher. But 2100 is not bad at all if this is going to happen for Ethereum. But it can reach also the top where it was during these days. In my opinion, I still think that Ethereum is still undervalued. On a weekly chart, if we are going to look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is testing March 2022 high zone, and it is likely that we may see Ethereum to create the same movement. And bigger picture after a small pause, we may see Ethereum to 2500. So this is what I'm also looking at for Ethereum during these moments. For Binance Coin, this is also a trade that I have shared with you several times. I hope you have this. It was posted when the price was close to the bottom, 226, and also lower because it was tested as a zone. So far, the price reached the first target, but with this volume, it is likely that the price may continue to test also the top of the weekly zone, which is to 330. And in the current conditions, I think that the chances are also higher. Uh, I also wanted to share with you uh, Doge analysis that I posted yesterday. On a daily chart, Doge is testing a very strong area that you can see. Just a moment. This is what we are looking at for Doge. Price tested a very strong area. This is one of the analyses that I have shared also during the previous weeks. Price broke out also from this triangle pattern. However, it is not in the best positions. If any one of you is in Doge, I think that you should hold this because it has a high potential to reach 0.0930 and 0.11 in these conditions. So considering that this is also a meme coin, the very good scenario that I would like to wait is probably the price will come close to 0.06 and it can give a better entry point if you are not in this trade. So this is also a possible bullish movement. Sorry. This is all for the analysis that I prepared for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to hit the like button and follow for more future contents. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you all on the next live streaming. Bye bye. Have a nice weekend.